Very good afternoon, my dear students. Now, by this time, you might have had lunch and ready for the last topic, last subject today. Now, I can see very less number turning out. It's fine, no problem. Okay. Now, I want you to tell me whether the audio and the video in the YouTube live is proper, right? Because I had 5 Google Meets today, so probably my internet would have got consumed a lot. Still, I think I checked it, but still, are you able to see and listen properly? Is it okay? Okay, Priyanshu says okay. Okay, that's good. Okay, that's wonderful. Now, I sent you the quiz of the village of Palampur, the story of the village of Palampur. Some of you played it and sent me the screenshot of that one. So I hope you enjoyed playing that game, right? That's why I built it in that interface. Otherwise, I would have given you a Google form like that. So the idea is to make sure that we revise those things as like a game. It shouldn't be a burden. It should be fun. Now, today, this is the last chapter before I conclude. So after this chapter, I'm not going to do anything. This is the last chapter for you, maybe before the summer vacation begins. So chapter is from geography and it is the physical features of India. The chapter is knowledge-wise, exam-wise, really important because it covers almost entire India, right? That's one. Second one, you have a map exercise in this chapter. So that is really important. We will get to know about the north, the Himalayas, to the islands, to the desert, the plateau, mountains, plains. So after this, you will have the drainage, that is rivers. After that, you will have a climate. So it's a very interesting lineup for you in class 9th. So without any delay, we will begin with uh, physical features of India. Right now, we have already learned that India is a vast country with varied landforms. What kind of terrain do you live in? Now, if you live in the plains, you are familiar with the vast stretches of plain land. If you are from UP and Bihar, you might be knowing about the plain land, complete plain. In contrast, if you live in a hilly region is obviously I'm referring to Uttarakhand or Himachal Pradesh or to the northeast Arunachal Pradesh. Here also in Kerala, in parts of Tamil Nadu and parts of Karnataka also where it is hilly. So if you see that conditions where you live in plain and hilly are different. In contrast, if you see in a plain, it will be complete plain. In the hilly region, it's going to be rugged terrain with mountains, valleys. No, we don't have a valley in south, but the valleys are there in the north. Kulu-Manali, you might have heard about Kulu-Manali, right? Now, our country has practically all major landforms, physical features from the mountains, plains, deserts, plateaus, islands. So our country is unique, right? One unique country. Now, the island, you will see in the sea, right? To the southeast and to the southwest, you will see the islands also. And yeah. Now, the land of India displays great physical variation. Geologically speaking, the peninsular plateau. The peninsular plateau constitutes one of the ancient land masses. Now, there is a whole section that is skipped out in 9th standard. I'll just tell you about that section. Then you can come back to here. That section is how did we form a continent? Remember, have you heard about that continent? How the continents came together, how the countries came together. Now pieces of the land came together. They were like a puzzle. They came together, stuck in. and they made a continent. Now there is a theory of continents which says that every year it will move this many centimeters. So we were also a very old land, right? Gondwana, very old land. Now out of that, the peninsular plateau is the oldest one. The peninsular plateau is the oldest one. Then you go for the Himalayas. The Himalayas, the mountains are also called as the fold young mountains, and the rivers started. And when the rivers started from Himalaya, they flowed through the plain, forming the northern plains. Right? They're pretty new. The northern plains, the Himalaya, are pretty new compared to what the peninsular plateau is. The peninsular plateau, obviously, you'll find it in Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, parts of Orissa, Chhattisgarh. Right? Peninsular Plateau also is known as mineral storehouse of India. It's a storehouse of minerals. Okay. Now let's proceed. I'm just still in the introduction stage. Now, I told you Himalayan mountains form an unstable zone. The whole mountain system of Himalaya presents a youthful topography with high peaks, deep valleys, fast flowing rivers. The northern plains are formed of alluvial deposits that are brought by the rivers from the Himalayas. The Himalayas have the rivers originating from them. They come down, and when they reach the north, the plain area, they spread out the alluvium brought by the river from the mountains. So there are plains formed. Right. The peninsular plateau is composed of igneous and metamorphic rocks with gently rising hills and wide valleys. It's a tableland. It's not as big as you see in the mountains. It's a tableland, elevated land, which has the igneous and the metamorphic rocks. Now it's no mystery that if you know that the igneous and the metamorphic rocks, wherever they are present, they are supposed to be having the minerals. Yeah, igneous and the metamorphic rock, you might have studied about them, the rock cycle, in sixth or seventh. Probably in geography, you might have studied about that in sixth and seventh. So the peninsular plateau is made of igneous and the metamorphic rocks. Now these are some of the features. I did not even mention the desert now, the Great Indian Desert, the Thar Desert, present in the northwest, right? There are rivers flowing throughout the year, and there are rivers which are seasonal, plain where are people living. So all this composition makes India a diverse land. Now, not only the population which is making India as a diverse land, it is also these features which make India as really a diverse country. Now, which are the features that we are going to study? We are going to study the Himalayan mountains, the northern plains, the peninsular plateau, the Indian desert, the coastal plains, and the islands. Now, only six we are going to study. We have to locate them also in the map. So remember, this is a very important chapter. So if you pay attention, now today I came for just an introduction. Probably tomorrow I'll make a video on this, because without the pictures or the data given on the video, it is rather not so easy to understand. Well, that's what I believe. So I'll come back with the data video. Now we'll start with the Himalayan mountains. Have you seen Himalaya? Let's, without, before going to the Himalayan mountains, I would just like to ask your questions. I can see all of you are here. Now, which is the tallest mountain in the Himalayas? The highest mountain, not the tallest, highest mountain in the world. Let's see with the basic ones. Which is the highest mountain in the Himalayas? Mount Everest, says Samiksha. Now, this is like a very childish question, right? Because the primary children also will be knowing it is Mount Everest. Can you tell me the height of Mount Everest? Yes, it is. It is Chirag, Pallavi. It is Mount Everest. Can you tell me the height of Mount Everest? Any idea? How height of Mount Everest? 8,310. That's little below Mount Everest. But approximately, exact number is there. Exact number. 8,310, probably like the third or fourth highest mountain. 8,848 meters. Absolutely right, Priyanshu. It is 8,848. Now, there are some theories, like random theories, which say that every year the Mount Everest increases. No, I don't believe that. No scientific theories, but I just read random scientific theories which say that it's a mountain glacier, right? So it should not be increasing; it should be decreasing. If you take the global warming or the heat, the sunlight. So probably that's just a curiosity, out of curiosity. It is 8,848 meters, right? That's Mount Everest, also called as Sagar Mata. Mount Everest, if you take Mount Everest and dump it into the ocean, right? Now, let's say we will not do that, just for a curiosity sake. If you dump it to the ocean, Mount Everest will go down because the ocean is probably the deepest, and it how many Mount Everest can you stuff in an ocean? Can you stuff two Mount Everest? Yeah, one after one you can stuff two Mount Everest. Nearly two Mount Everest can go down in an ocean. The human beings have not gone there, but people have gone there on the Mount Everest. Can you tell me the first person to scale the Mount Everest? Yeah, in the world, obviously in the world. Yes, who is it? Who is the first person to scale Mount Everest? I'm waiting for your answers. No, they're all Googling. Okay, this Edmund Hillary says Pallavi, right? Was Edmund Hillary alone? There was another person. It is Edmund Hillary, but it was not alone. He was assisted by somebody. No, Edmund Hillary is not a countryman. Edmund Hillary, Tain Singh Norgay. Right, it is right. Uh, yeah, good one, Nanda. It is Tain Singh Norgay and Edmund Hillary, the first ones to scale 8,848 meters, right? Do you know the Indian woman who has scaled that mountain? Normally, we say scaling that mountain, we go just climbing that mountain is like, yeah, Tenzing and Hillary, right? It's true. Can you name the name? Can you name the Indian woman who climbed Mount Everest? She's a legendary name. Born in a family, small family, poor family, thought of in mountaineering. She inspires all the other women. She has her own mountaineering college too. Bachendri Pal, right? Who is this? Akshay Shetty. Bachendri Pal. That is the right answer. Yes, it is Bachendri Pal. Remember two names? One who scaled Mount Everest. So they're saying Lakshmi Shri. Okay, good. Though basically they're saying that nothing is impossible. If you can go and climb 8,848 meters, there is a limit for a human being, right? Yes, Bachendri Pal. Now, just basic things. I'm not so much, you're not going to get any questions on that one, but basic things. Now, we'll get back to the Himalayan mountains. The Himalayas are geologically young. Structurally, they're fold mountains. Now, what is a fold mountain? Altogether, that I cannot explain without be telling you about the plate movement, the tectonic plates, the fault line, the movement of the plates, the converging, the diverging. It was there in ninth standard, but this year book I am not seeing it. So probably I'll make a separate video to tell you how we became the part of the continent. Now you might be knowing about um, the earthquake, right? Earthquake happens because of the seismic plates, yeah, surface of the earth, beneath the surface of the earth. Now this, how does these plates move? Do they move towards each other? Do they move apart from each other? Apart from each other, or do they climb on each other? Do they go under each other? So the types of movement that is being done with the tectonic plates makes the mountains, it will push the water down and the mountains come up. So it is believed that Himalayas was created like that. It is a very recently created. Recently doesn't mean it was created last week or last year. Created, recently created, right? Compared to what the peninsular plateau is, it's the oldest landmass, right? So I will take a separate video for that because it is not there in the textbook. It was there in last year textbook and previous last year. These mountain ranges from west to east direction, from the Indus to the Brahmaputra. If you take, it is from west to east, from Indus River to the Brahmaputra. The Himalayas represent the loftiest and one of the most rugged mountain barriers of the world. They form an arc which covers a distance about 2,400 kilometer. Their width is 400 kilometer in Kashmir and 150 kilometer in Arunachal Pradesh. If you see in Kashmir, if you go, the width of the Himalayas will be more compared to what is it in Arunachal Pradesh. Now, I don't think there wouldn't be any concept that you would not understand. It's just objectively speaking, the Himalayas are these many parts, these mountain ranges are in these parts. So it's just basically science. I'm not saying any the abstract concept that you don't understand. A fold mountain, yeah, that is true. What is a fold mountain? You should have understood that. We'll keep that as a question to answer. Now, the altitude in the variations are greater in the eastern half than those of in the western half. The Himalaya consists of three parallel ranges in its longitudinal extent. A number of valleys lie between these ranges. I told you the valleys normally come between the mountains. Now, what happens in the valleys is, now you will have a mountain, right? Now, try to imagine, and there is a river, and river, because river is very fast in the mountain and it is coming down. In the meantime, it cuts the mountain and comes down. It cuts the mountain years, millions of years. It has cuts the mountain, and the mountain valley gets deeper and wider. Now when it becomes wider, people start to live in the valley. Like if you go to Kulu and Manali, is anybody from Kulu and Manali, Shimla, Uttarakhand? Nobody. Yeah. Do we have Achyut? I think he's in 8th C. No, none. 9th C. Yeah. Nobody. Okay. Now, if you see Kulu Manali valleys, you would know from which state to which state. What are you talking? The Himalayas from which state to which state? Himalayas are from Punjab to Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, be specific when you ask questions. If you take the west to the east, we have from Punjab, that is Himachal Pradesh, to Arunachal Pradesh. From if you take north to south, then it is not much to other states. I think it covers Jammu and Kashmir, Uttarakhand, Sikkim, not Assam, Arunachal Pradesh. Only those. Yes. Okay. Now, we'll go into the divisions of the Himalayas. The Himalaya consists of three parallel ranges. I told you there are valleys. The northernmost range is known as the Great or Inner Himalayas or the Himadri. The northernmost that you see is known as Himadri, or it is known as the Greater or Inner Himalaya. It is the most continuous range consisting of the peaks with an average height of 6,000 meters. The average height of Himadri is 6,000 meters. Now, the folds of the Great Himalayas, that is of the Himadri, are asymmetrical in nature. The core of this part is composed of granite. Granite se composed kiya hai? So they are very strong. It is perennially snowbound. What is perennially snowbound? It is, if you go to the Himadri, it is always snow. Like Mount Everest, do you imagine Mount Everest being green? No, it's always white, right? It's perennially snowbound. Throughout the year, Everest is supposed to be white. Everest and the other K2. If you see any mountain ranges in the Himadri, it will be perennially snowbound. Yeah. Now, and they're composed of granite. They're composed of granite. Their core is made of granite, unlike in the east. The range lying to the south of the Himadri forms the most rugged mountain system, and it is called as Himachal. Now, first one that you see on the top is Himadri. The average height is 6,000 meters. The core is composed of granite. Now, if you come down a little, that is called Himachal or Lesser Himalaya. The ranges are mainly composed of highly compressed and altered rocks. The altitude is 3,700 to 4,500, and the average width is 50 kilometer. While the Pir Panjal range forms the longest and the most important range, you will see the Dhauladhar, the Mahabharat range also there. This range consists of the famous valley of Kashmir, Kangra Valley, Kulu Valley in Himachal Pradesh. This region is well known for its hill stations. Now, if you know the names of the hill stations like Masuri, Nainital, Ranikhet, now some of the hill stations are found in the Himachal area, where you will see the average height of the mountains is somewhere around 3,700 to 4,500, and the width is 50 kilometers. Now, if you see in the Himadri, the first one that we saw, you will see the glaciers and the passes. There are so many passes in that one: the Shipkila Pass, the Jojila Pass, right? Now, the last one, the outermost range of the Himalayas, is called the Shivaliks. Now, remember, we are not going out of India; we are coming into India. So, the first one you see is Himadri. The second one, middle one you see is Himachal. The last one you see is Shivalik. So, basically, if you're from India, the first one you will see is Shivalik. And Shivalik can be seen. Himachal, the next one, taller than the Shivalik, and Himadri, the tallest, probably the tallest. Not everybody can go and scale down Himadri. Now, the Shivaliks, the outermost range of the Himalayas is called the Shivaliks. They extend over a width. Now, you'll see the pictures. There are pictures in your textbook. I'm following the textbook, so I can see it. The width of Shivalik is 10 to 50 kilometer. They have an altitude. Altitude is height varying between 900 to 1,100 meters. These ranges are composed of unconsolidated sediments brought down by the rivers of the main, that is Himalayan ranges. Ganga, take Yamuna from Gangotri, Yamuna from Yamunotri. Now, the valleys are covered with thick gravel and alluvium. The longitudinal valley lying between the Lesser Himalaya and the Shivalik are called as dunes. Now, this very not very new, guys. The Shivalik and to the Lesser Himalaya, you will see that there is a plain land. Plain land. It's like a circle. It's in the between, surrounded by the mountains, and the plain land is called as dun. Yeah, I'll just type it here so that it is easy to understand. Duns, right? Himadri, Himachal, Shivalik. We remember Shivalik very well because we studied in Navodaya Vidyalaya. I studied in Navodaya Vidyalaya, where our house names used to be Shivalik House. Yeah, we have Nehru House, Gandhi House, right? We had Nilgiri House, Shivalik House, Aravali House, like that, names of the mountains. Now, can you tell me an example for Dun? Dunes. नाम सुना होगा आपने, Dunes. कोई सिटी का नाम शुरू होता है खत्म होता है डून से? Any city that you remember from the suffix dun? If you're from Uttarakhand, it's very easy to know. Dehradun, right? What is Delta Dun? Is there something called Delta Dun? Dehradun, Dehradun, obviously the capital of. Okay, Dehradun, right? Dehradun, Dehradun, right. It is Kotli Dun, right? These are some examples for Dun, right? The dunes are Dehradun, Kotli Dun, Patli Dun, or some of the well-known dunes, right? Beside these dunes, the Himalayas have been divided on the basis of regions from west to east. Now, we just saw the divisions from north to south, okay? The division that you see here is from north to south. We did not discuss the division from west to east. So there are two divisions of Himalayas. The north to south that you see is based on the height, right? 6,000 is the average height for Himadri, 3,700 to 4,500, 900 to 1,100 for Shivalik. It's based on height. Now, the west to east, that's from the Himachal Pradesh to Arunachal Pradesh, that is based on river. There are rivers which are flowing, and it is demarcated with the presence of rivers. So, that is also very important in terms of divisions of Himalaya, right? Now we'll go for that river based. Now these divisions are demarcated by the river valley. For example, the part of Himalayas lying between Indus and Sutlej. Indus River and Sutlej River is called as Punjab Himalaya, also known as Kashmir or Himachal Himalaya, because Himachal Pradesh lies, Kashmir also lies there. It's west to east. Remember, it is from Indus to Sutlej. Now, from Sutlej to Kali, the part of Himalayas lying between the Sutlej River and the Kali River is known as the Kumaon Himalaya. Kumaon is also the Uttarakhandi Kumaoni language, Kumaoni part of Uttarakhand. The Kali to Tista, from Kali to Tista River, it is the Nepal Himalaya, and from the Tista to the river called Dihang. Yeah, it's called the Assam Himalaya. Dihang in Arunachal Pradesh. Dibang, right? There are regional names also in this categories. Now, find out some regional names of the Himalayas. One name I gave you, it is Sagar Mata, right? Now, let me guys come back to the divisions, right? We'll start with the Punjab Himalayas, also known as Kashmir Himalaya, also known as Himachal Himalaya. It is from the river Indus to Sutlej. Indus to Sutlej, you will see Punjab Himalayas. Now you can write it as Kashmir Himalaya. You can write it as Himachal Himalaya too. From Sutlej to Kali. Kali is a river name. Kali River. That is, what is the name of Sutlej to Kali? Which Himalaya? No idea. Forgot. Kumaon Himalaya. Kumaoni is a language also, right? Kumaon Himalayas, right? Now, which is the last river? Kali. Kali to Tista. Tista is also a river. Kali to Tista. Kali to Tista, yeah, part of the Himalayas lying between Kali River to Tista River is called Nepal Himalayas. Nepal Himalayas, right? Now, last river is Tista. Tista River to Dihang River. Tista. Okay, I think something happened. Oops. Tista to Dihang is called as Assam Himalaya. Okay, seems to be having connectivity issues for me. Okay, Assam, cannot type anything. Assam Himalaya. Okay, thank you, Lakshmi Shri. Assam Himalayas. Right. Now, these are demarcated based on the river valley. The first Himadri, Himachal, and Shivalik that you saw are based on the altitude, the heights. Sir, how many types of Himalayas are there? Actually, categorization has been done with two types. One is from the north to south, one is from west to east. If you take the separate categories, it is seven categories of Himalayas, right? But it is two types of Himalayas. Now, the Brahmaputra marks the easternmost boundary of the Himalayas, and Indus marks the western boundary. Beyond the Dihang Gorge, the Himalayas bend sharply to the south and spread along the eastern boundary of India, and they are called as Purvachal or the eastern hills. Now, in the Purvachal, you will have the Patkai hills, the Naga hills, the Manipuri hills, the Mizo hills. इसके बारे में आपने सुना होगा, नहीं सुना है तो आप क्लाइमेट चैप्टर में पक्का सुनेंगे. The Mizo, the Manipuri hills, the Patkai hills. Now, this is where the Patkai hills is where the river Brahmaputra enters India. Right? Till that time, it will be flowing in Tibet. Then it will come to India, enters through Arunachal Pradesh, come to Assam, then goes to Bay of Bengal, Bangladesh and Bay of Bengal. Now, remember the western frontier, that is river Indus, to the eastern frontier, that is river Brahmaputra. Dihang is a tributary of Brahmaputra. If you go to Arunachal Pradesh, all the names of the districts have been named after the river. East Kameng, West Kameng, yeah, Anjao, yeah, Lohit, yeah, Dihang, Dibang. So they are named after the river. So that is the division of west to east and north to south. Guys, I think I finished. Now, again, one thing is there: the Purvachal or the eastern hills. The hills running through the northeastern states are mostly composed of strong sandstones, which are sedimentary rocks, and they're covered with the dense forest. They mostly run as parallel ranges and valleys. Now, there is one problem with this one. I'll just stop it after saying that one. The problem is that they are not as strong as the Himadri or the Himachal. Now, they are not strong, so normally the landslide would occur a lot of times in the northeastern state. Now, it's not a very unique feature of the northeast, but it happens in Uttarakhand, it happens in Himachal Pradesh also. But the landslide keeps on happening there, right, in the Purvachal. Right? That's the eastern northeastern hills. Mizo, Manipuri hills, Patkai Hills. Remember those names because you're going to be locating those hills in the map of India. Guys, that brings to the end of the Himalayas. Today we studied about just the beginning of Himalaya. Now, formation of Himalaya is also one concept which is associated with the movement of the plate tectonics. Yeah, we'll keep it separate. Now, the types of Himalayas from north to south and the types of Himalayas from west to east. That's what we studied today. And if you feel any problems, you can type here. It's 33 minutes. I'll wait for 2 minutes extra. If you have any problems in this, only this one, can you please type your questions here so that I can clarify it? Okay, or else you understood. It's a very easy one, right? There is nothing very concrete term that I used. It's a very easy one. All you have to remember is the types and the features of those Himalayas. It's an exam compared to what the exam questions. It's a very important one. What is Doab? Okay, Doab is not here, but still, Doab is a land between two rivers. Doab. Yeah, can we stick to the chapter? Doab is a river. If there are two rivers, if you have a land in between those two rivers, it's called Doab. Normally, the Punjab, yeah, very famously known as Punjab, right? Okay, guys, I think you don't have any questions, so I will sign off from here. Thank you, guys, for tuning in. The number is very less. I have very less number. I think probably not too many. Okay. 10 to 15. That's what the turn up is. Still, we have to ask to other people to see it. I'll come back with this. Tomorrow, what we are going to do is northern plains. See, uh, tell me how it is okay. Now, this is just an audio lecture. You did not see the video or something like that. And I will make a video and I'll post it to the YouTube tomorrow. So till tomorrow, we'll deal with the northern plains. Stay safe. If you are hungry, have lunch, take rest. Probably all your classes might be over by now. And till tomorrow, stay safe and stay inside. Ta-ta. Bye-bye, guys.